Coming up next on Public Access TV is Fan to Fan, the book game, where we look at the game of publishing books. Today my guest is Thistle, whose book Under the Garden Gate helps one explore the wonders of nature in our own backyard. Stay tuned. This may tempt you to check out your own backyard and maybe write a poem about it. Welcome to Fan, the book game. I'm your host, Dave Hornfischer. I'm a book fan, and I'm excited to look at the game of book publishing, where we talk to people, mostly from the Framingham area, who get their book ideas into print. Today my guest is Thistle, whose book Under the Garden Gate helps one explore the wonders of nature in your own backyard. Thistle, welcome to Fan. It's great to have you and to see all the stuff that you brought with you, that lovely poster and some of the artwork that you create, and you've got a wonderful package of stuff here. But before we get to all that, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself growing up and maybe what fascinated you with some of the stuff that ended up in this book?
Well, in college, I was kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and one of the paths I took for a little bit was actually studying anthropology and studying physical anthropology. And I went to Nicaragua on the island of Ometepe, and I watched howler monkeys for about 6 weeks in the jungle. And so I kind of got immersed into watching animals. And I've just always done that all my life then, even though I went into business and did do something else. There's always been this, nagging little, just sitting watching animals and seeing what they do. So
where did the name Thistle come from? Well, I don't think your mother gave you that.
No, but thistle, the birds love thistle seeds. And I feed the birds every day, and I feed them thistle, and it just seemed like it was the right name for the book and for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you had that be before the book came about.
Yeah. Yes.
But then what inspired you to kind of write this book?
So I meet with some knitting ladies at the Framingham Library, and I wrote one about red, and I just kind of brought it to them, and I did some drawings, and I read the story, and they were like, "This is really good." And I said, "Okay, well, if you guys like this, here's another." And then I showed them Woodrow Wanders, and somebody said, "Hey, you could be the next Beatrix Potter."
Okay. This is beginning to move down the road a bit.
Actually, and I had the one about the deer actually several years ago, and I don't exactly know when I decided to just do it, but I just kind of said, I'm going to do this.
Okay.
And I just started doing it.
So then we ended up with this whole bunch of characters that we're going to put up on the screen here that are all sort of some of the people in your backyard. Yes. People, I guess, is not the right word.
That's okay. I say people.
Yeah, okay. So I see a little mouse. I see a bunny.
Yep. And I did all the illustrations for the book because I just felt like I'm the one that watches the animals. Like they're my animals, and nobody else is going to be able to illustrate like Under the Magnolia in the way back of the yard, but me. Nobody else really is going to capture Hopping Matilda as I do. So the book is really is the animals in my backyard from my perspective.
Do you live in the city, or do you have are you what kind of out in the country where you?
I mean, we're kind of in the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, I live downtown Framingham. I'm amazed by the number of creatures that pass through my backyard and turn my lights on at night even sometimes.
Yes,
I say, I wonder who's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you've got all these characters now, and so let's take a look at the book itself here. We meet a couple of the characters that are in it. We've got a mouse, a woodchuck, a tree. Let's take a look at some of these and see what the image kind of evokes in you. So let's talk a little bit about kind of each one briefly. well, one of your poems is called "The Ballad of Simon and Shoe."
Yes. And so Simon and Shoe are two snakes that are hiding under a rock. Can I
Sure. Oh, yeah.
show you? Yeah. So Simon and Shoe are hiding under a rock, and Henry the Heron comes into the yard.
I think we have a picture of the heron somewhere.
And you have a picture of the heron.
No, on the show on the screen. Yeah.
So here's
Can
Henry.
you zoom in on that a little bit?
So here's
Yeah.
Henry the Heron. And Simon and Shoe right now are hiding under this rock. Okay? And Henry goes, slowly, 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 I walk. Slowly, 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 don't talk. Slowly, 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 I stalk. Slowly, 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 and he says, a hawk. And he says, I bet he scared all the prey. Nothing left for me but to fly away. And Simon and Shoe jump out from under the rock and say, hooray, because they didn't get eaten.
Wow, a happy ending to a
happy
nature
ending,
story.
yes.
Yeah, everybody likes a happy ending. Okay, well, we're going to move on to the bunny now, who you call Matilda. And I think we have a little video coming up for that one. And let's take a look and see if we can find the bunny. Here he comes.
Hop, hop, nibble, hop, hop, nibble, hop, hop, nibble, hop, hop, reach, hop, hop, nibble, nibble, hop, hop, nibble, nibble, hop, hop, hop all day. Hop, hop, nibble, hop, hop, nibble, hop, hop, nibble, hop, hop, reach, hop, hop, nibble, nibble, hop, hop, nibble, nibble, hop, hop, hop to play. Hop, hop, nibble, hop, hop, nibble, hop, hop, nibble, hop, hop, reach, hop, hop, nibble, nibble, hop, hop, nibble, nibble, hop, hop, hop away. And if you want to show the back to the book, here's Matilda hopping away out of the yard.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So I actually have, some of these are songs. I don't know if I kind of came up with the song before I came up with the, like the drawings, but you can go to iTunes and actually listen to the songs on
Right, I did, yeah. And you've got some nice background music to them, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
And so this is on iTunes, and
yes.
it's on, okay, yeah, I think that's where I did find it.
Yeah, it should be like.
So if you just put in the word thistle into.
You put into Under the Garden Gate.
Under the Garden Gate,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, moving on from rabbits and snakes, we've got a little black cat video here, I think, which is the second video that we're going to show.
Yeah. So his little story is, little black cat, who are you, little black cat? Little black cat, who are you, jumping like that? Because he jumps over the railing. Little black cat, who are you, little black cat? Little black cat, who are you, ready tat scat? Little black cat. Because he kind of just goes quickly through the yard. And here's the poem with the drawings.
And that's not your cat?
This is not my cat. This is my cat.
Ah, okay.
This is Samantha. She was a feral cat. She had kittens under my front porch. And so I trapped her and took her in, and now she lives with me.
Oh, how sweet.
Yeah.
That's great.
And this is Samantha when she was in the yard.
Okay.
Before she.
So Samantha made the cover. Yeah.
Samantha made the cover.
Okay. Well, we got a couple others just with photos here. The next one's going to be Maggie and Dawn.
So under the magnolia, in the way back of the yard, lives a little creature. You'll only know he's there if you listen really hard. The leaves, they start to rustle. Then a little snout pokes out. He's rummaging the forest floor for whatever is about. He's looking very intently. I'm not sure for what it can be. So I sit silently and think, I really love this tree. He doesn't get fanfare and he doesn't get praise, but I don't believe he cares on warm, sunny days. And if you ever come to visit, please remember this bard. There's a little creature living under the magnolia in the way back of the yard. And the little creature is a mole we named Mr. Snufflepuss.
Ah, okay. And is Snufflepuss in the book?
Yes, he is.
I like
yes.
I like the image of the dawn coming through the tree there. The
Yeah,
bright yellow.
it's a beautiful.
I kept looking for a character named Dawn, and all of a sudden, when we were talking before, it dawned on me. I'm sorry, that was who Dawn was.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and one last one here is all about Red.
And Red is a cute little story because he was a mouse that ended up in one of those, blue Lowe's buckets, and in our garage. And my husband took the blue bucket and put him out, a good 50 feet from our house. Put the bucket back in the garage. Next day, there's 2 mice in the bucket. And my husband says one of them is the same mouse, and I no, he's not. And so he took a red marker and he colored one ear's red and the other one blue. Threw the mice back out the back of the yard, put the bucket back in, Red came back again. So after, we did this for several times, I said, no, Red's gonna stay. And so I kept Red, and he can stay. And he's a white-footed mouse who now lives in my house and runs on his treadmill to play.
But Blue never came back.
Blue didn't come back.
Oh, no. Blue moved on.
Blue moved on. Yes.
So you had a red state and a blue state, just like in politics, I guess.
Yeah. It was the colors that we had.
I love it. Okay, well, wow, this is just fun. Is there a last thought here on kind of the whole assembly of your gang of people? Are there other people who might have got into the book that?
Well, there's the last one. I'll just do this. Is don't forget the frog and the turtle, the frog and the turtle, the frog and the turtle and the bumblebee, the frog and the turtle, the frog and the turtle, the frog and the turtle, and you.
And me.
And me. And, of course, Samantha. All are welcome under the garden gate.
And Samantha's sort of the guardian of all this.
And Samantha's, yes.
She's sort of the sergeant at arms, I guess. So he keeps them all in line. Well, that that really is amazing. It does kind of bring one to look closer to home on stuff, and putting a book together about stuff that's in your yard and meaningful is such a way. And we'll talk about that a little more in a few minutes. But so how did you get to put all this together? You had the idea. You talked to some people. They said there ought to be a book. We've all heard them say there ought to be a book about this.
Yeah.
Everybody rolls their eyes. My son was a literary agent. I had ideas for him for years. Finally, I gave him a good idea, and he did one with my wife and I. We did a book about parents of celebrities. But what was your gate into making this happen?
I actually saw Lynn do a presentation. Lynn Damianos, who's my publisher, do a presentation at the library like a year before I started this. Okay. So, in the back of my head, I had been like, I need to do something with a couple of the stories and things, but I just hadn't.
Sure, yeah.
So then after I got a few more people saying, you should do something, I contacted her. Okay. And she kind of helped me get the ball rolling and get things going. But I mean, a lot of it, if you're an author, is you saying, I am going to do this, and I am going to do it, and you have to, just kind of keep doing it, because there were a lot of times when I could have just been like, okay, I'll put it aside, but I decided I wanted to do it. And so I did,
yeah. So I've had Lynn on here a few times. Sometimes she comes with the people that help her. We have a little slide with her with her information on it. But once you got to the point of meeting her, then what were some of the pieces that had to come together? You had the artwork, right? Because you did it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So she found me a graphic artist that helped me actually put it into the book form, because there's pages. It needs to be laid out.
Sure,
a certain
probably
way
sharpen some of the images a little bit. And who was that person that you worked with? Was it somebody local or?
Yeah, I worked with. I don't want to say their names wrong, so I'll look at.
Might as well give them a little plug while we're doing this.
What's the name? I'm sorry. Okay, so it's Levine Design, Rob Levin, and graphic enhancements were commercialgraphics.net.
Okay, and Lynn helped you find
And Lynn
them.
helped me find
Yeah,
them, yeah.
okay. And then once you got the images together, then you had to get it put into this nice, lovely hardcover book.
Yeah, and it's produced through Silver Street Media.
Silver Street Media?
Yeah, which is in Bridgeport National Bindery in Agawam, Massachusetts.
Agawam.
Agawam,
Yeah.
thank you.
Outside Springfield, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So all the pieces, so Lynn was really the kind of the driving force that kind of helped you every step of the way then along
Yeah,
that.
yeah, because I've never done a book before.
Sure,
There's just
yeah.
a lot of different steps that go
Right,
into it.
and that she helped you decide how much to price the book and how many to print, and
Yeah,
yeah, okay, and then help you with some of the publicity for it, or
yeah.
okay. So so let's get back to the theme about the book here. There's just a great theme here. Well, what would you say the theme of this kind of book is? It's, is there kind of an overarching?
Well, it's a delightful true tales of animals in the backyard. They're fun, and just seeing how the animals react, and hopefully getting people to look in their own backyards and see what's going on. Yeah.
So you largely see this as a book for kids.
Yeah, it's a book for kids, but it's for, everybody can enjoy the poems too. Yeah.
And maybe inspire people to write their own.
Yeah. I have had several people tell me that I've inspired them when I'm at the crafts shows. People come up and just are like, "Oh, this is great. You've inspired me." People tell me about their animals, and one lady had a pig named Charlotte. That sounded wonderful. And somebody else had a family of ducks, have ducklings in their pool. And then another guy had swans, and so
I have sparrows, I have chipmunks, I have rabbits. I think I have a woodchuck or something like that. Yeah.
It was. I did a reading at the Framingham Library, and when they said, "What questions do you have?" everybody raised their hand, and everybody said, "I have a woodchuck. I have."
Right.
That was the question. Was, I have a rabbit.
Here in the city of 70,000 people.
Yeah.
I wonder how many animals there are in Framingham.
I don't know, but I do know that there are a lot of cats.
Yeah.
More than.
I have a big orange cat that periodically strolls down my driveway.
Yeah, the Metro West Humane Society was really helpful to me to trap Samantha, and.
Oh, the feral cat. Yeah.
The feral cat. Yeah. And so I know that there's lots of cats out there.
We had a cat up on the 4th story of a roof near our house the other day. Took the fire department and the police.
Oh, no.
It was about 5,000 man hours to get this cat down. I think. But so this is sort of brings out the teacher in you. Do you get to talk to children very often? Do you go to have any schools invited you, or the library have a program?
Yeah, the library's had me come, and when I'm at craft fairs, I always have paper for kids to draw on and color pencils for them to draw. And I had one little girl, and she drew the flower, and she looked, and then she.
Oh, I think we had a picture of the kids' art here somewhere in our collection.
Yeah. And she was really meticulous about it, and so at the end I said, you can keep it, because she did a really good job. And I always have them sign their names, because that's you're the artist.
Right.
But then she came back to my booth like a half hour later, and she said, "Can I do another one?" And that to me was like, this is good, because she wants to, and she did. She worked really hard at it. And then I gave it to her again, and she went running off, and she was waving it in the air, going, "I got another one! I got another one!" I mean, and that's, to me, I would say that's my accomplishment for my book, is to get people to
for people who want to draw things, and the backyard is as good a place as any to find the subject.
Yeah.
And in a reading class, when you want to write a poem, what would be a better subject to write about than what's in your backyard? So I think you've really got something here that's kind of a great way to integrate home life and things that you like to do for fun, whether it's writing a poem.
Right.
I mean, all things that things that So what's sort of the age range of the kids that you're getting here? Is this like 5 and 6-year-olds maybe?
Yeah, it's like 3 to 6, but
Yeah,
I did
okay.
have an 8-year-old tell me that they really like the detail of the pictures. So,
Oh yeah,
you know.
yeah, of course, yeah, yeah. Who's going to refine it for you and help
Right,
and be your graphic artist for the next book? Huh?
yeah.
So yeah, so the market of this is for the kids, but you really have to sell it to the parents, right?
Yeah.
And so how have you been going about trying to sell some of these? Huh?
So I go to craft fairs,
Uh-huh.
and you know, somebody walks by and they see the book, and I tell them, you know, go ahead, you can take a look at it, and they start flipping through, and they start reading it, and then they always look up at me and they say, "You wrote this?" And it like and I said, "Yeah," and then they're like, "Okay," and they flip through a couple more pages. And then they say, "And you drew all this?" And I say, "Yes, I drew all this." And they look back down, and they flip like one more page, and you know, you see that light bulb go on,
right.
and they look up at me with a big smile. They're like, "This is great." You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
how much do you want? Can I buy the book? I mean, it's like, so it's just, I feel like it's a matter of getting them to open
And then the
book
kid
and
pulls
see
out
it.
his own MasterCard. Huh?
Yeah, and I had another little girl. She went very slowly through every page. And I'm thinking she's gonna be like, "Okay, thanks." And you know, she looked up at her mom. She's like, "Mommy, we get it?" And it was just like, "Yeah, you know."
So is it available on Amazon too?
It's
or
available
other
on
places?
Amazon, and Silver Street Media, and Tatnick Books. I have it for sale there, and I do a few author signings. One's coming up first Saturday in March. I think it's March 2nd. So I'll be there, and I always to sign the book.
Where's this one in March again?
Tatnick Booksellers in Westboro.
Westboro. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's in that mall there,
Yes,
right along
right,
the road
right,
there. Yeah.
right, yeah.
Okay. And do you have your own website?
And I do. It's underthegardengate.com.
Underthegardengate.com. Yeah. We'll be sure to put that in the on the lower thirds to scroll it when we get
So you can just go there,
and you can buy it there too.
You can buy it there. Yeah. The links to Amazon and to Silver Street.
Oh, okay, great.
And to the Here Now, where you can listen to the. Yeah.
And then, so have you been a guest on any other radio shows, or
I did.
NPR hasn't found you yet?
No, they haven't found me yet.
Well, maybe this will help. Well,
Yeah.
this show does get picked up by other cable stations beside Framingham.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes, so I'm always amazed. We had one show was picked up by Fort Wayne, Indiana. So
Oh, wow.
I don't know how that happened, but it was. But anyway, so what's next?
Well, I do have, I want to say like 6 or 7 stories of poems already, and here I have. So this is my thistle.
Let's get a close up on
this?
that. Yeah, look at
So
that.
that's my thistle.
Uh-huh.
And then this is my next. That's the blue jay getting a morning drink. So I have.
Have you had the thistle before you when you start? When did you tell me you first kind of grabbed the name thistle? I didn't.
So a few years ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this wasn't a childhood thing.
No, not a child.
Well, but the tattoo just came along that recently.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. That's great.
Yeah.
It really is. That's exciting. You're really putting the whole package together. Do all your friends call you Thistle too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That's terrific. So this other book is this something you're going to probably have done this year? Then you're kind of shooting for that?
I would love to try to get it out.
Yeah.
Sometime
So
in the
you're
summer.
working with Lynn again on this a little bit.
Yeah. And it's just going to be Under the Garden Gate, I think, Volume 2, because there's just more animals.
Well, that's a good idea. Yeah. Build a franchise.
We'll just
Yeah, I think that's probably a bright idea. Yeah. You were telling me why you didn't put your name on the cover of the book. I thought that was kind of an interesting story.
Oh, well.
Usually the author name is bigger than the title
Yeah,
of the book.
and it's not, the book's about the animals, so I wanted it to be about the animals. I also want it to be for everyone. I don't want there to be any barriers to somebody picking up the book and for whatever reason saying, like, I don't look like her or whatever. So it's, they can see the thistle and they can see the cat, and it's for everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this has been an interesting process for you, I imagine.
Yes.
So what have you kind of learned in doing this so far? Must be some things that were good and maybe a couple of surprises you wish you had done something differently. Is that a fair question?
Yeah, that's a fair question. So I have 45 colored pictures, in the book. And, you know, like having the graphic artist set all that up was just kind of a lot.
And expensive.
Yeah, but it's, you know, it's how it is, and it is, so it's okay. But yeah, that more than just having, you know, like one picture per page or whatever. I mean, I really kind of did a lot.
Even though you had done the art originally, there was still a fair amount of work to make it book ready.
To make it book ready.
Interesting.
Yeah. The other thing, so picking a font is that, you know, you have to actually think about it. And I am an ESL, which is an English as a second language tutor.
Oh, really?
Through the,
a tutor.
library.
Okay, yeah.
So I think about you know, things like, can someone read this? And I had come up with found a really pretty cursive, and then I was like, oh, but can everyone read it? And I actually Googled it, and I think like 30% of the world, people can't read cursive.
Right.
And I was like, well, I'm not being a very good English as a second language teacher if I, you know, exclude.
Yes, right.
So I changed the font. Yeah, so
there's a lot of details.
There's a lot of details that
things you might not think of. Yeah, especially in a book that's got all this graphic content. And all that. Well, this has been a fascinating discussion. As I told you at the beginning, the 28 minutes just has a way to wind down. We didn't talk about all your other stuff. We've got some lovely bookmarks, I guess.
So I make bookmarks. I don't know if you can zoom in on the bookmarks.
Oh.
And then I also do behind you.
We have the bunny sitting up on the shelf and back here with a beautiful scarf around it.
Because I knit, and so I have some of my knitting.
So you take this stuff to the craft fairs, and you had wasn't there something else? You got these beautiful things and
the shawl behind.
The shawl, okay.
I don't know if you can zoom on that, but
they all sort of go with the character of the book, don't they? These are really beautiful. I thought they were earrings when I looked at them.
Oh, yeah.
I think you could probably turn those into earrings pretty easily, couldn't you? You gotta.
Yeah, you probably could.
But that would be kind of.
I thought I'd stick with the book.
You've got some lovely earrings on as it is.
Oh, thank you.
Well, anyway, Thistle, this has been fun. I try and do these shows on. I try to have a variety of things. I have things like Civil War history, and we're going to get my next show is going to be about murders in Metro West. But to go from that, go from this wonderful discussion of the beauty and the fun and the nature in one's backyard to all that is just terrific. So thank you very much for joining us. It's been glad to see you,
and very nice
and that's great. And all you folks out there in TV land, come back and watch Fan to Fan, the book game. We're on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 8:30, and Saturday mornings. And we're on the Access Framingham has a website, accessfram.tv, and you will even find these shows up on YouTube if you look up Fan to Fan Hornfischer or I suspect Fan to Fan Thistle. You probably will find us. So check us out again, and keep reading and keep watching TV, and especially watching public access TV, because it's local and it's real. Thanks for joining us. Good night.